That's how I try that. Anyway, please get out for our first comedian of the night, Mr. Jotham.
Thank you. Wow. This is amazing. There's a lot of people here. Are you all feeling good? Yeah. Are you all excited? Yeah. I am so excited to see you excited. You see how I did that? I did an in-sync joke. I also wrote all my material this morning, so I don't know if any of it's going to work. I actually have been having a bit of a day. Yeah, so I'll tell you all about it. It started off at breakfast, and this is an absolute true story. I was going to have breakfast this morning in the commissary, and I was going to get my coffee, and I'm going to need Sebastian for this bit. In a second, he's going to have to come be a prop. Yes. So you just stand there. This is how it works. So I was going to get my coffee this morning, and I was walking to the coffee thing, and another artist here at DreamWorks cut in front of me. Not purposely, they were just doing their own thing, and it was not at all purposeful. They just happened to go in front of me because they didn't see me. And I was trying to, make a little joke out of it and make a pleasant morning for us both. So I was going to make a "you cut in front of me" joke while they were at the coffee, and I couldn't think of one. And I was just walking towards them and trying to think of a joke in my mind, but I couldn't think of one. And then all of a sudden I realized that my body had taken me here, and I still hadn't thought of any joke. And that's when they noticed me. And I tried to think of something funny to say, and this is what came out. Good morning. And then I walked away. So now I think we're gonna both have that living rent-free in our heads for about 15 years. Thank you very much, Sebastian. So that was the beginning of my morning, and then it just got better from there. Then I was walking to go into Lakeside, and there was somebody approaching the door, and they were carrying a bunch of stuff. Looked like they were carrying a big, heavy box. And I was about 100 feet away, and I was like, wait, I'll get the door for you. And I ran to get the door, and as I got there, they turned, and all they had was their key card. Just their key card, nothing else. They just were standing in a way that made them look like they were carrying something, and I had run all this way to open the door for them. So I had to now open the door. And then the door opens inward, not outward, so I had to awkwardly, make my way past them and then hold the door so they could go in. And that was fun. And then I left early to go pick up my daughter from school because my wife had a meeting. Had to pick her up at 2:30, got home about 1:30. And I was like, I've got an hour to work on my material for tonight, write some comedy, which I wrote today. And I was into it, and I was writing my comedy. And I was like, hey, I got an hour to work while I'm waiting to pick up my daughter, my 11-year-old, my heart living on the outside of me daughter from school. And I was, working on my comedy, and all of a sudden her school called. And I was like, what are they calling for? I mean, the day's almost done. What could possibly be going on? And I looked down, it was 3:15. And I completely forgot to pick up my daughter from school. So I had to go down there, and I don't know how exactly you tell your 11-year-old that writing jokes for your comedy is more important than them. But it's good. She'll get a little bit of trauma, hopefully just a little bit, enough to make her funny when she gets older. So that was my morning, but I do have some exciting news to share with you all about a course that my life is now taking, and I wanted to share it with you all. It's pretty exciting, and I think you all will agree when I tell you that we got a bidet toilet. Yeah, we got a fucking bidet toilet. And we didn't cheap out, we got the bidet toilet. We got the Japanese, full-on, Toto, top-of-the-line bidet toilet. It's amazing. You walk into the room, and it sings a little song. It's like, the lights turn on, the seats heat up, the lid raises. You sit down, it's got all of the bells and whistles. It's got the back and the front. It's got a blow dryer. It's amazing. What we got to, with the bidets, you can get them where you hook it up to the water. You can get them where it has a little tank where it heats up some water for you. Or you can get what we got, which is the top of the line tankless hot water heater. So you get unlimited hot water in your bidet. And, you know, I mean, our water bill's gone up quite a bit, but the 30 or 40 minutes that I'm spending in there is amazing. And it's life-changing. So I suggest anybody, if you want to come over and try out the bidet, just help yourself. Your life will also be changed. Does anybody here have a bidet? Does anybody here want to come over to try the bidet? Show of hands. All right. We'll see you all. We'll make a Jira. You can just, we comment on that, and we'll get you there. Actually, the feature that I like most about my bidet is how much better it makes me than everyone else. I think that's the best feature. It's like being a vegan, or somebody that does CrossFit, or like one of those pretty white girls that's sharing their van life journey. I got like my algorithm. I try to sort of train my algorithm to show me cute animal videos and things like that. But then I saw one of those van life videos, and I watched it. Now all I get is van life videos, and it's like the journey of these women it's very brave. It's like that they can overcome with only like $80,000 in seed money from their rich parents is amazing. Watching them and then the obstacles they overcome when like they went over budget and they couldn't afford a teak, so they had to use mahogany in the custom shelves inside their van. And honestly, like, I don't know, the idea of living in a van in a space the size of my bathroom with your 6 dogs is just terrifying to me. Like, I have a house with rooms in it and an outside and places to be, and I've been in that place with my family for 3.5 years, and I'm like, I can't stand looking at you anymore. I can't imagine being inside like a delivery van with somebody for 3 years. It would be great. It would be super great. Actually, the whole like pretty girl influencer thing, like I started getting that stuff in my feed, and I think that's incredibly interesting. Like, it's the whole like, there's a pretty girl farmer, and a pretty girl, like there's the pretty girl beekeeper, and then there's the pretty girl like chef, and they all have worked the algorithm so that they have a ton of followers. And there's like, so from the beekeeper community, there's a lot of like pushback because they're like, oh, it's just a pretty girl beekeeping and we do the real beekeeping. But honestly, I have no problem at all with like the taking advantage of the algorithm to get ahead. I mean, if the algorithm favored like old fat Jewish men, I would be out of here in an instant doing my, van life, old Jewish guy Instagram, like all the shots of me, with the photographer behind me in my Speedo in like Aruba. I would do those shots. But I do like, there is some other, like I do like the funny videos and the funny little like cat things. And I saw one the other day that it made me chuckle. It was one of those like, guess which one of us is the gymnast. And it began with a woman doing gymnastics. And I was like, that's probably the gymnast. But who knows, let's see who the second person is doing gymnastics. And then it cut to a kid in a wheelchair. And he was the one that did the thing. I chuckled. I thought it was funny. I was like, he's probably not the gymnast. And I showed it to my wife, and she was upset. She was like, that's not funny. Like, who's to say that a person in a wheelchair could not be a gymnast? I mean, all they have to have is some pom-poms. But what was funny is that instead of pantomiming like a paraplegic in a wheelchair with the pom-poms, she went immediately to a quadriplegic who had to hold the pom-poms in her mouth and just shake her head like this and try to do the cheers in her mouth. And that was the vision that she had in her mind of a person in a wheelchair being a cheerleader. And then I sort of laughed at that. I was like, you didn't think of a paraplegic? She was like, come on, Stephen Hawking could have been a cheerleader. And even better, I would have loved to see Stephen Hawking doing the cheers with his artificial voice, like, we've got spirit. Yes, we do. It would be fantastic to me. So let's all just work on our algorithms, work on our hashtags, and get ahead in this life with our van life. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.